So, welcome everybody to the Abundance Show. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Susie Cheel, and I have just reclaimed my Abundance Queen title, which had before I did the Abundance Show. So we're bringing this back weekly. I'm going to be talking with a variety of people frequently about money and about crypto. So the Abundance Shows, which was all about self-love and love into abundance, will still have that focus. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing people on who have changed their money stories, and who some of them will have ventured into crypto, and some of them maybe will be doing it from other points of view. But we're looking at expanding, changing our money stories, because that's something I've had to do to be doing what I'm doing at the moment. And today I am absolutely honored to have a woman I call my mentor, because I am learning so much in the about money and in this crypto space. Hazel Moore lives in England, and as you know, most of you will know, I'm in Australia. We're other sides of the world, but I have actually lived in England, so I have some concept. I don't think I've been to where Hazel lives, but I spent a lot of time traveling while I was there. Hazel has been, she's a grandmother, and we're both in that 70s age group where we are sort of expanding our horizons. I think that's how I see it. What do you think? And she's also had, she's a spiritual mentor, and that has been her life for the last 40 odd years. Welcome, Hazel, to the Abundance Show. I'm so delighted to have you here.
Susie, I am delighted not only to be here, but to know you. You are a joy to the world. You really are. And you can feel that frequency of joy just flowing from you, my friend. And it's just lovely. Because as we all know, joy is a level of consciousness that, you know, we all should strive to live from. So hello, everyone, and welcome to this call on abundance. And yes, my name is Hazel. I live in England. I am a grandmother and coming up to be a septuagenarian. So you're in good company, everyone, with Susie and myself. And yeah, I was and still am a teacher of higher consciousness, and have been for 40 odd years now. Wow, I can't believe that, you know, where the time goes. But, you know, it is true. When you get to have lived on the planet for your 70 years and 10, there is a lot of experience, obviously, that's gone under the bridge, and we do acquire a lot of knowledge. But one slice of the wholesomeness of who I am and what I believe the collective need to know about is money. Money, my friends, is right up there with air and water, and we need it. Us folks here in the West and the East and the North and the South, unless you are living as an Aborigine or you're really totally off grid, and you can sustain yourself, which is very, very few of us, then you're going to need money. So I realized long time ago that what most folk needed to relieve the stress from their nervous system was enough money left over at the end of the month to have some luxuries and to go out and to be able to enjoy life on this planet. And I realized that as technology expanded and as people expected more and more from life, you know, like the cars, the house, private education for their children and so on, what most people were doing was just creating a bigger cage of lack. Yes, people were getting more money, but they'd expanded their expectations on life itself to embody these new circumstances and these new things that we all wanted. And in doing that, we still were in that same category of not having enough money left over at the end of the month to really go, oh, and relax. Because those in the middle classes, they're in the same position, truly, emotionally and mentally, as those who are in that poverty level of life. You know, those that literally have nothing. They have angst and they have desperation, but so do the middle classes. When they have this appearance to keep up, and you know, they just get more and more stressed and they get burnt out. They go home, they have a bottle of wine or two just to get through the next day. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you listening to this will really begin to resonate with what I'm talking about. You know, whether you have a bottle of wine or two or not is irrelevant. That was just, you know, me bringing that in to relieve the stress, because we all need desperately to relieve the stress in our nervous system. And we all know that some people use food to do that, to numb themselves down. Some people use alcohol. Some people use sex, whatever it is, to numb down the stress of everyday life. So in my many decades of teaching spiritual consciousness to people, higher consciousness was all very well, Susie. But at the end of the day, if those people that are in the healing arts, that are aligning with source, with spirit, with that which religion calls God, if you do not have the money to bring your ideas and your concepts to life on earth, then where are you going to go with that? Where are you going to go with that, Susie?
That's right. And you made that very, very clear to me when I was saying, you know, well, what I wanted to do, why I'm doing CFX is to eventually, you know, expand my artistic horizons even more. I've done it once before and I know what it's like to have the money to be able to do that. But then things happen along the way and you lose it, and then they don't always get it back. And it's
that's true. So what do other people do? Because we live in duality consciousness, don't we, Susie? When we're born into this planet, we're born into a system. That system uses money to exchange between each other. It also uses duality consciousness, which means polarity. We've come here to experience the good and the bad and to make truly a game of it. It's a roller coaster of a journey, you know, with huge peaks, with huge valleys and mountains within it. But in this day and age of 2021, we are here now to kind of balance that out. You know, if you're like me, I've had enough. I've had enough of
absolutely. Yes.
You know, and most of my roller coaster journey, Susie, was to do with money. You know, obviously, you know, I've been married. I went into that system where, you know, we go to school, we get educated, we follow our mums and dads, we buy a house, we have children, and then what? Then what? You know, we're still us, aren't we? With what you've got, Susie, and what I've got is an entrepreneurial spirit. And to me, that means, you know, that God, the Great Spirit, endowed us all with the spirit of it, that higher consciousness. And that meant we're here to create. We're here to create, not work for someone else until we drop. That's not what we are here for. You know,
I agree. Yes.
It's not.
I've been a teacher, so I was employed. I've been a trainer of teachers, so I was employed.
Yeah.
And then I left in my late 30s, safe, secure employment, because I didn't get a job. I'd been acting in for 2 years, and everybody said, you've got to appeal. And I thought, oh, no, I'll leave.
Yeah.
And I set myself up as a textile artist, having been told at 10 I couldn't draw. So then I created from my own artwork and what I knew about fabrics and textiles, a really successful textile art business for about 15 years. But then the world changed.
Yeah.
And it's a long while since I probably made nearly 100,000, and that was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
80s, 90s.
Well, that was amazing then, Susie. To earn 100,000 back in the 80s, 90s was massive, wasn't it? So, hats off to you for.
I know I can do it again. That's what. But I've been struggling online, and there's a lot of people in the spiritual world and in the arts, and people like me who have decks of cards and things, who really struggle to make ends meet, to be able to go on holidays, to be able to support a friend who maybe is dying of cancer, who needs help. So I think
money, even to do voluntary work, Susie, we need money. Everything needs money. And so we come now to my journey, with my realization of this years ago. And I literally, Susie, as you know, I just prayed to be stinking rich. But when I talk about prayer, I'm talking about a living prayer. And to me, that is living from what I call the 4 pillars, the 4 cornerstones of God consciousness. God is a frequency, a level of consciousness, and we touch that level of consciousness by living from peace, love, joy, and courage, strength. To me, these are the 4 cornerstones. And when you raise your frequency to that, the world, my friend, is your oyster. And just magic happens. So that has been my teaching for all of these years. Fast forward, how are we going to help the masses to do this, Susie? How are we going to help humanity? Because as you know, we are game changers. I love that,
Absolutely.
Hashtag game changers. That's what we are. And there's many, many thousands upon thousands of us. So I want to fast forward, and all of these concepts and all of these ideas about bringing money to the masses, the money that will support them in what they want to do, what fulfills them, whether that's the healing arts, whether that's, poetry, whether it's writing a book, whether it is going out and helping animals on the front line or children or whatever it is, we need that money to support us. Because let's face it, if you're on the front line helping animals, for example, rescuing animals, or if you're on the front line rescuing children, you can't then have a full-time job to earn the money that needs. You
don't have the time.
No, or the energy, or the reserves to do that. So CFX, which is a forex trading company, after my prayer, I'm going back now about 5 years almost. After that prayer, which I knew was on that right frequency, the very next day, I was introduced to Bitcoin/cryptocurrency the very next day. And so began my journey into the financial world. And I learned so much about human nature. You teach people about money, Susie, and it's going to bring up all of their shadows beyond a shadow of doubt.
You told me that when I shared a couple of stories with you, because I thought, these people really got it together. No.
Yes, but it does, doesn't it, Susie? As soon as we start talking in a serious way with people about their money story, so much fear is attached to money and lack. So, so getting into the financial story, our money story, really is a healing process, and it's an aligning process. We need to align, first of all, with source, and then go through all of those conflicts that we have taken on board, wrong beliefs, about money and what it is and how we can get our hands on it. So I was thinking, Susie, how can we get our hands on this money? So, and really, it's not about the money, but we've got to have the money first, of course.
Yes.
CFX came my way. I started my journey, and it started with Bitcoin. And I learned that there are many, many, many ne'er-do-wells in this world. I experienced it. I didn't just hear about it. I experienced it firsthand. And to say I was shocked was an understatement, But Susie, I also learned that there were many people of good intent, of high integrity, but they just didn't have a few things. They didn't have the wealth behind them to bring their concepts and their platforms and programs to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have the intelligence or the programming software to put that into a tangible facet, you know, to bring to us through the internet. CFX came my way in August 2019. This was an answer to my prayer, because not only do CFX bring wealth to us, they also themselves, the two owners, they also have wealth, immense wealth of their own, and they are backing their concepts, their dreams, their ideas, and their knowledge. And they have created a tangible, palpable company and platform where ordinary folk like you and me can purchase a contract for as little as $300 American and plug into what they have created. Because their mission is to bring financial freedom to the masses, to ordinary people. And they are doing that based on their experiences, their knowledge, and their understanding of the financial world, but at a very high level. They are billionaires, multimillionaires, extremely wealthy people themselves. And so they mix with that caliber of person. And so they have inside knowledge of what's really happening, how it's going to be going, who controls the financial markets and the system in this world. Now, that is way beyond me. It's way beyond 95% of us. So I just jumped in, Susie, with utmost faith. And after August 2019, and my research and getting to know the owners, I came to trust this global partnership between me and CFX. And, you know, I just want to tell everyone that's listening, by golly, they have delivered everything that they said they would and continue to do. So I started with $1,000 on that day in August. And here we are, 22 months later, Susie? Not quite 2 years. And I have received from CFX almost $600,000 back without putting another penny of my own money in. Now, if that's not a game changer in 22 months, I don't know what is, Susie. I really don't know what is.
It's just amazing. And I can tell, I mean, I haven't been in as long, and I did come in with $300, but without putting adding extra money. But I think nearly a month ago, I went up to a $7,000 contract. And I just think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And my business partner and life partner, which most people who are watching this will know, Des, started later than I did, because I didn't do anything for about a month or 6 weeks. And then he went up to 3,000 just a week ago. And so this $300, and we haven't been working, you know, we've been taking it a bit easy with this. We're about to change that at the moment.
Yeah.
There's so much else I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
So we've turned basically $600 in about 4 months into $10,000.
Yeah.
US. For those in Australia, so that's about $12,000, $13,000.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
But where else can we do that, Susie? On this planet? Where else? Right now in 2021, where else can we invest? Like for yourself, $300. Me, I put $1,000 in. You know, and to have the returns that we've had in such a short space of time. So, you know, that is now giving me the support to fulfill my purpose, why I came to this planet. And that really was to free people up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and financially. And I've got CFX to thank for the last slice of that cake, you know, the financial part, because everything else we can say we're abundant spiritually, you know, if we're aligned with the Godhead. Yes, of course we are. And we can live from that frequency of peace, love, joy, and courage. That is spiritual abundance, you know. And then we have mental abundance, which for me, the money story freed that up enormously. In lots of ways, I was mentally free, but the money story, especially when I was bringing my daughter up and wanted to put her through private school and so on, and university, you know, that was a time of strain and struggle to me. And so the money would have really eased that, you know. And then emotionally, my money story starting 5 years ago really helped me detach from so much emotionally, because, you know, as most people know, thoughts and emotions work together. Emotions are not of the heart. They are a reaction or a response to the thoughts that we have, and, you know, from our circumstances and what other people, you know, kind of bring into our energy sphere. So it pushed me even more to live from my heart, because the feelings of the heart are always stable. They are not a roller coaster journey. They are stable, and they keep us stable. So, you know, it freed me up, CFX coming my way, because they made it easy. It is and was.
Well,
play, isn't it, love?
Yeah, well, it is, and it's you know, what I say is, and I share the story of the first person besides Des I introduced this business, who wanted to work with me. And she was the only one who wanted to do a group course I was doing. And I just said, I can't do it for one person. And I just on the off chance said to her, how would you like to make some money while you sleep? And it's, for her, it's been a real game changer. For her and her family, it's been an absolute game changer. And, you know, and here's another woman who's in her 70s.
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? But, you know,
but this is true, isn't it? Now, this is true. At this time, there are a lot of women. Des keeps up with what's going on in the world news-wise, and that he's very conscious of that. And just recently, he's been reading articles about, you know, women from their 50s up who do not have what we call in Australia superannuation.
Yeah, pension plan, essentially, you mean, don't you? For those of us in the West, it's a pension plan.
Whereas here it's something called superannuation, and then also there's the pension. But if the pension is all they get, that's a state thing based on income and things. So there's all these people, there's all these women out there, and there's probably quite a lot of men too, who, how are they going to live 50? We're all living longer. So this coming along, and you know, and Hazel did, I think, a lot of research before, and a lot of venturing into other ventures before she found CashFX.
Well, my journey, as I said to you, started with Bitcoin. So I did learn about lending platforms, initial coin offerings, arbitrage trading, and all of that. So that was a really good background for me to have, an experience I had to come into the world of Forex trading, which I entered into with CFX. So they we purchase a contract for $300 right through up to $100,000, whatever your budget is and your level of trust, of course. So I learned all of that, and so my background was pretty. I knew a fair bit, to start to understand forex trading. So we purchase a contract, a package, and CFX take that money and they trade that on the forex market for us, which is all about trading fiat currency, not Bitcoin or crypto. It's all about trading in pairs. For example, the US dollar against the Australian dollar, the yen against the euro, sterling, British pounds against the euro. All of these pairs are traded 5 days a week on the forex market, and there are thousands of trades every day, thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And our expert traders that are partnered with CFX, they are incredible. And the reason that I say they are incredible is because even though, of course, we get negative trades, at the end of the trading day, it seems we always close in a profit. Sometimes that profit is small and sometimes it's bigger. That's the nature of a living market. We're selling and buying money. And so that's what we did. That's what I did. And it's come to today that they trade that money for me. I've now got $100,000 contract. And on that contract, every week, I approximately get $3,500 a week just on that trading contract. Now, the percentages that we get for those 5 days a week do change because it's a living volatile market. It's not set in stone, the money markets. But we've got this $6+ trillion a day market. It is bigger than Wall Street. It's bigger than the stock market. I think Wall Street is worth about 23 billion. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but you can see that huge gap going from billions to trillions, it is massive. And it takes a while, Susie, to get your head around those numbers. And
absolutely. I mean, they're so huge. I've been learning more and more about, this. And I did trading. I paid some. Yes. So I've actually, I've drawn, I did a hand, and this must be 20 years or more ago. We thought, well, we were going to go into trading. We thought we were going to make, all these people making so much money. So I learned to the candlesticks, for those of you.
Oh, yeah.
I had these sheets of paper and whatever else. Did I make my fortune? No. And that was one of the things I wanted to say was I have people who approach me, and then when I tell them what it is, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
When I explain, and Des explains as well, we are not doing the trading. That's what's so exciting about this, that, I go to sleep, and just so people know, I'm on a $7,000 contract. I go to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning and I check my back office, I've generally made around about $55 overnight. Yeah. Well, that's more than I get for selling one of my decks of cards.
Yeah.
And that's 5 days a week. So I'm getting generally about $250 at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to jumping up to the next contract.
Yeah, and that's just a matter of time, isn't it, Susie? Well, you don't even have to do anything, unless you want to share this opportunity. So your $7,000 contract, in a few months, all by itself, organically, because of the trading returns, you're going to be able to increase that to a $10,000 contract.
I realize that.
And then a $15,000 one, and then a $20,000 one, until you two, with no effort, you're going to be on that $100,000 contract. And what a superannuation that is, That's
right. Yeah, we blew most of our super.
Isn't it, for your adventures around the world when COVID finishes, of course. But you're sorted.
Yes, we just heard today here it's another 18 months before they're going to open the borders in Australia.
Well, but then Australia is a big country for you to travel in and see.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Huge. you can
absolutely.
enjoy, your country. It's not all about flying abroad, is it? To enjoy the world. I mean,
Now,
here
I'm
in the US,
very lucky. I did that when I was 22. I have seen a lot of the world.
yeah.
And Des and I have traveled a lot in our 30 odd years together as well. So I'm very blessed. I
Yeah.
was one of those people who went to England via Bali before it
Oh,
was
yeah, I've been to Bali.
back in 72,
Yeah,
and on to England,
yeah.
um, down to Nigeria, back all through Europe, and then
Yeah.
back to England, where I lived for 4 years. And I got to see lots of the country and
Yeah.
Scotland. And
Now, you've got the money. Well, you will have the money.
we'll have the money.
All
Yes.
around Australia, and when everything lifts and we're out of lockdown, it's going to be there for you. So what a great preparation for the future. For people listening to this, for $300, your future, if you do nothing else, your financial future is set. It is safe. Only the other day, our one of our CEOs, Oscar Lopez, was saying that when he joined forces with Edwin Abard, who's the head of the trading and the head of our traders, they made a commitment to each other and to God to bring this to the masses. They didn't need the wealth, but they wanted to make others wealthy. And they've gone about it in a way that is so sustainable that, everyone can join. And I'm saying this now, 99% of me, unless the whole world blows up, we are in a safe place with CFX, because it's been proven to me the way, the energy, the consciousness of our CEOs is the same mindset as me, and it's the same mindset of Susie. And if you all understand the law of attraction, you will know that you cannot mock the laws of the universe. You cannot attract something of that which you are not. You're going to attract what you are. And if you are generous of spirit, if you are here to help humanity, that's what you're going to attract. You can't fool the universal laws, So if you're pretending you're here to help humanity and yourself in the process, but really you're just out to help yourself, that's going to collapse. That is not.
It's not, because one of the things that really excites me is that she may be watching as well, but I have a friend from Uganda, and I've always had a dream since I started this business, because I've always wanted to go back to Africa at some point in time.
Yeah.
I hear these stories from Kenya and
Zimbabwe and Nigeria.
Zimbabwe story that where groups of people work together, and these people were unbankable. They didn't have bank accounts.
That's right.
And one of them has shared it, and they've shared it, and I think one of them is now, become an executive, and it's about the villages where the life is changing. And for me, one of the things that I think is amazing here is for young people. We have somebody in our team who, when their son becomes 18, he will get a contract for him that will pay for his college, what we call university here, college education. I'm thinking of, I would love to have a team of, if you're out there listening, 20-year-olds. I can think of some people I'm going to be talking to who are 20, 21.
Yeah.
Think of if they start now with their $300 contract, and even if they don't do what Hazel and I do, where we share it with people, so we get rewarded for that, in 5 years' time, they're going to have $100,000.
Absolutely. Do you know, Susie, that it makes my heart sing that our youngsters, let's talk about my grandson. I've got a grandson who will be 5 in August, and you can't join CFX unless you're 18. Let us make that very, very clear. But you can get a sponsor for the children, you know, those under 18, which means you just get someone over 18 who wants to open an account with CFX, but you know, they're sponsoring the youngsters. So we got sponsored my grandson. I think it's just last year. I can't remember the exact date. And we started on a $300 contract, and now he's on a $5,000 contract, and he's not 5 yet. When my grandson is 8, he's going to be on that $100,000 contract. And all of his money struggles are over. They are over. That money is his, you know. And what I like to say is, we don't earn the money; we allow it to flow to us, and that is the big shift that's happening. People are beginning to understand that they don't need a salary or a wage. They need an income. And that is the big mental shift. And that's the way the wealthy elite think. They don't think salary and wage. No, no, no. They think income. And so anyway, we opened this, got this account opened for my grandson, and he will not know financial struggle. So that is a huge elimination from the stress on his nervous system. You know, he'll be able to pay his way through college and whatever he wants to do with his life. You know, and the job of the parents or the guardians of the children is to make sure they keep balanced with the money story, because it is about respecting money, not wasting it. You know, it's about having luxury for sure, but it's about having huge respect for money. And I always like to say to people, treat your money like you would treat a person. Don't abuse it by wasting it, you know. But that doesn't mean don't have luxury. But what it does mean to me is don't chase after the hedonistic life, because that is dangerous ground as you go through life. Because to me, that tells of emptiness within. So we teach balance. We teach, there is no financial struggle, but we need to keep balanced, and we need to understand money and its real purpose on this planet. You know, it flows through us. We enjoy it, and then we help others.
And we share
it.
And we have this gift that we share, and that was it's flow.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say, this morning I started the day, and since I've joined this business, I've changed some of my morning activities and things. I used to be so religious about meditating and doing whatever else. I still do qigong and things like this, but I do go in and check my balance and see what's happening and things like that. And the first thing when I opened Facebook this morning was Hazel had done, I think with her daughter actually, had done this amazing post. And I won't spoil it for everybody, but if you go to her wall, you'll see that these 2 little boys with rockets.
That's my grandson.
Oh, that's your grandson? Right. Okay.
Rocket Man. I mean, it's an amazing photo, isn't it? I thought, well, that is CFX, rocket fuel. It rocket fuels us to our dreams, our hopes and dreams. You know?
That was what I saw. And then this thing, I never had to develop myself. I just had to allow life to flow through me. And then when, of course, I can't find it now, but then I thought, I haven't done the reading for the week. So I did a live on this and about flow and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was just, I love this synchronicity. This was the time I drew.
Oh, yeah. What do the words say underneath?
The flow saying, your horizons expand when you allow your heart to open and flow. Yeah. And it's just, you know, and then I thought, I just follow, and this is what followed. No, you are enough to open the doors to abundance.
Yeah.
And then you can follow your passion. And
Yeah.
I just thought,
Oh,
wow, we're going to be talking about this tonight. That's it. I'm doing this to make, I've always wanted to make a difference in the world, but for this to follow my passion, which is about colouring the world and for people to open their hearts more to love. And I think the world needs more of that at the moment.
yeah. I think what people don't understand is how the world, how quantum physics works, how energy works. When we come from joy, we expand. And when we expand as these little humans that we are, so the universe expands, so God itself expands. And that means there is more and more and more. We don't have to go digging and work all the hours God sent to create more. That's not how it works. We expand. And therefore, everything in our life expands for the good of all. When we are miserable, when we are worried, when we are full of doubt and conflict, we contract. And so our small portion of the world, of the universe, contracts with us. And we go into a decline, a slippery slope that we call depression, stagnation. But you don't have to take months and months and years to get out of that frequency. You just decide to up your game, to come from peace and love and joy.
Have just, you can change how quickly can you make a decision or change your life in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You have to decide.
You can change your frequency like that. I can be as miserable as the next person, but I then know, right, I'm slipping. I'm falling into what I call the human condition, Susie. And like that, I can get back up to joy, straighten my spine, I straighten my posture, and I just decide to change. You could say change the mood. Okay, let's just say you can change your mood because you've decided to. And then you're up on that lovely frequency, and that's where the magic happens. And that's how Susie and I
do it. Our internet went down about 5 o'clock today.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's been good, but recently it's going down all the time. And I was thinking, we have lousy phone reception, so if we don't have internet, and I'm thinking, okay. And then we went and did a few other things, came back. I did ring them because I said this is happening far too often. And it was slowly coming back on. And then I just thought, I'll just go and do something else, Susie, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay on the night. And I just want to say, because a lot of people will be watching the replay of this. If you have any questions afterwards, just put them in the comments. This will be on my page. I can see that I've got people watching live, but nobody's making very many comments, but that's okay. Some of them, somebody who is already in Cash FX. And Hazel, I just want to, before we finish, we have something very special on this week.
We do.
Something very special. And we're working with, by the way, if anybody does want to come into this business, and you get to work with me, but you also get to join this beautiful woman's group as well. And she provides just, so much support and things and keeps everybody positive, keeps the vibes up. You do keep the vibes up. So this Wednesday at this time, which is 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, and will be 10 a.m. It's British Standard Time. Dan picked me up the other day and said I have the wrong time. And, New Zealand is 9 o'clock. And for those of you who are in the States who do want to watch, even though at the moment, if you're from the USA or Canada, you can't join, but you can come and listen and see what's happening. But what we're doing is Hazel has very generously is offering a $300 Bitcoin contract. So one person on this call will win a Bitcoin contract, and they can start on making money while they sleep and on their journey to freedom. And Des and I are doing this with Hazel, and we're very, very excited about it because, what I will do is I will put a link here for people, and for people who just want to change their money story, find out more about CashFX. Des and I have a group that's called Get Wealthy Now, Make Money While You Sleep, which I will also drop the link in, and you can come and join us in there. And I have all the details in there about this amazing Bitcoin giveaway. I am excited about it. I just think
me too. This is great. This Wednesday, the 19th of May, is a red letter day for Susie and Des. They are going to bring to everyone a webinar that explains about CFX, and we are going to give away a $300 trading contract. So, and I will be facilitating the purchase of that. And this is just one way, the way that many of us in CFX are sharing our good fortune with others. There's no strings attached. That contract will be yours. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to put any more money in. All you need to do is just watch that $300 turn into $100,000 over the years, the next 5 years or so. That is all you have to do. If you want to share it like Susie and I do, of course you can do that, and we have a lot of training about that. But yes, Wednesday, 19th of May, red letter day.
It is an absolute red letter day. I should have actually join us. I'll just do here. And this will be on a Zoom. It'll be in a private Zoom room. It will not be on Facebook.
How are people going to get the link, Susie? Are you going to obviously put it on Facebook or what? How?
Yes, I'm going to give you the details.
Right.
We've just started putting it out, and so we've had people at the moment asking for the link. So I've been first of all finding out where they live. And then giving them the link. And within our team, everybody has the banner and some words Des has written, and they have the link to give as well. But we will tomorrow we'll put that out. So
watch out for the link. Yeah.
Yes, watch out for the link for that. And
I would say to the people in Canada and the USA, since you mentioned it, Susie, is, don't think you're not excluded forever. This is going to be global. It's the mission still is to roll this out globally. And so I encourage people from Canada and the USA to meet or link up with Susie, learn about Bitcoin, and prepare yourself for a journey that is ahead of you. So you can do a lot of things by buying some Bitcoin, learning how to do that, because with our CFX contracts, we do deposit and withdraw in Bitcoin, even though the trading is done with fiat currency on the Forex exchange. But I do encourage people, Susie, to understand about Bitcoin. And get on a waiting list with Susie, and she'll be in touch.
I have that. Because I've been online since I think 2007, I started blogging.
Wow! Yeah, wow.
I've been on Twitter that was the first place I went, was Twitter.
Was it? Yeah.
I have a very large
following
in America.
Wow! So
most of my cards when I first made them were shipped to America.
Wow!
So we have had people, so I have done that. And I have somebody today who actually is a client of mine. She's very excited to get started. I've explained to her. She said, I wake up early, so I want to come on there. And I said, well, what you can do is learn about this as we go. She's in our leads group or prospects group, and so she'll be so well informed when she starts.
Yeah. It is about.
So I just had to say to people, that's why I'm asking what country people's comes from, so I can tell them, and we'll be very clear about that there. And to just let anyone else know, if you're coming on the webinar, I think our webinar is about 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to stay to the end.
Yes.
You want to win the giveaway.
Yeah.
But you'll have all the other information that somebody will have introduced you to that, or I will have, you will have got the link and things for me. You can start the next day, because I work very closely with everybody to get started and to get started right. It's very important.
Yeah. But it is, you have to be on at the beginning and stay right to the end, because it's about you learning and understanding about your own money story as well, and to take care of your money, and watching how CFX works and how your money will grow. That's very, very important, because we don't just want to give you the fish. We're teaching you how to fish and look after your money long term for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. That is so important, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it just depends whether you're what you're doing with your money. And this, if you need to change your money story, once you start seeing that money every week, or initially, every day, you're not going there, and it might only be a little when you first start, but it brings more joy. It brings more joy, because you can see out into the future how you can have more time, more money, and create a much bigger impact.
Yeah, in the world. And you do, don't you, Susie? You truly wake up motivated and with a spring to your step, because it gives hope. That's what it gives.
And that's the thing that Des is, he really feels very strongly on that. In this time of COVID and with a lot of where people don't have hope or faith about where they're moving to next, CashFX has provided that for us.
Yeah, truly, it is. It's a blessing to humanity, and I don't say that lightly. It's been a blessing in my life. It's been a blessing in the 2,600 people that have joined in my team. It's a blessing to their life, and it's a blessing to almost 300,000 people around the world. And we have over 1,000 people joining every single day, and that speaks for itself, doesn't it, Susie?
It does.
And everybody earns money. Everybody earns money once their contract is activated. It isn't this thing where you've got to wait, or you've got to buy something else, or you've got to buy a subscription, an annual subscription or a monthly one. Nothing like that.
There'll be a lot of people who come in who've maybe done a lot of network marketing, and if it goes out every month. Every month you might be paying $99 or $200, but it's not necessarily giving you any money back. This one gives you money. It's so exciting from that point of view.
Every single person, Susie, every single person, because it's a trading contract, an individual trading contract for you alone. It's not attached to the networking side, unless you want to do that as well. You don't have to. Yeah.
That's right. And you'll hear a bit about that on Wednesday night as well.
Yes.
Well, I think on that note, we might finish for my night and Hazel's morning. If somebody was saying, I can't afford that, or is it really real? What is it you would say to them, Hazel?
I would say to them, look, we've had homeless people living on the street come into CFX. We have had people as Susie mentioned in unbanked countries, Zimbabwe, where if you don't get paid in dollars, you don't get any money at all. And they have sold their farming equipment, their livelihood, to come into CFX. And they are now thriving, and they are sharing that with their fellow countrymen. I would say where there's a will, there's a way. But not only that, every single day of the week, except Sundays, team members and other teams give away a $300 contract. And all you have to do is be on that webinar with a chance to win a $300 contract. And we've just mentioned our team is doing that as well. And there are many teams in CFX doing that. So, Susie, to me, there is no excuse. I've been bereft of money.
Yeah.
But my mindset is such. I'm focused, I'm doing this. I've had times where I've been in a supermarket and my guts have gone over thinking, have I got enough money to pay for this? I've been there. I've lost 2 beautiful homes, but my spirit within me think, no, we're going forward. We're going forward. So I do not, I don't take anything as an excuse, Susie, I'm afraid. The human spirit is incredible.
It is. It is. And, you know, and to, it's just the joy. I believe that this can give so many people who are saying, and for those of you who say, oh, no, I don't have the 300, a friend of mine said this to me the other day, just tell them to stop having coffee every day and add all that money up, have a look around your house. You want to know how to sell on Marketplace? I'm a master.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I have said to people, you know, us ladies and that, we have so many like little gold trinkets, don't we? Little gold bracelets.
All this jewelry that we don't really wear. Yeah.
Mix it all together. Sell it, because Bitcoin's worth more than gold. Sell all the trinkets that you don't wear. Go through your house, because, you know, the truth is, I would say to you, is it true you really haven't got the means to find 300, you know, American dollars or 250 pounds sterling? Is that really true when you look around your house with all the CRAP we all accumulate? You know,
and that's what
put it on the marketplace, sell it.
Marketplace is great. Or even, you know, if you just want to clear some stuff out, give it away.
Yeah,
because what we give away.
Yeah, give it away, because then you are embracing giving and receiving. But yeah, there is, to me, there is, if you really, really want it, you're going to get it. You're going to get that money.
And if you do join this, it's going to help your, what I call your wealth mindset. It will really change how, I just think it's, you change how you receive money. You know, I've always wanted to make money while I sleep. How the millionaires and whatever else. And Mark Twain wrote about it, and Des and I are on a holiday down the South Coast when we read his autobiography, and we thought, how are we going to make money while we sleep?
Yeah.
It's many years ago, but we're now doing it. So
we've now got the platform, we've now got the vehicle that wasn't available to ordinary people, you know. And this is the way the wealthy elite have lived for centuries. You know, people say, don't they, to finish on this note, it's too good to be true. No, it's not. The wealthy elite have lived this way, and this is how they leave generational wealth behind them. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a legacy and generational wealth for those children that haven't even been born yet. That's what I'm going to do, because that's what the wealthy elite do, and I'm following in their footsteps.
Well, thank you so much, Hazel. It's just been absolute delight. And for everybody who's been watching, thank you very much for being here. And I will be back. I'm going to be interviewing a variety of people. Some of it will be pre-recorded because of the different time zones, and it just can get a bit challenging like that. And if there's anybody you would like me to interview, just drop it in the comments as well. So thank you once again. It's just been beautiful, and I look forward to seeing some of the people who are watching here on our webinar on Wednesday night, Australian time, Wednesday morning, Europe and Africa, and early Wednesday morning for the Canadians and the Canadians, the South Americans, and the people from the States. So that's all for now, and I will finish with my tagline, which is love yourself into limitless abundance. Your life change. Namaste.
Lots of love. Lots of love.